Hi, I'm Rus Hudda, creative designer at Cats Protection and author of Eat, Sleep, Sniff. Today I'm going to show you how I draw cats. So when I draw, I like to use my iPad Pro and an Apple Pen. So the first step is pencils. I have my selection of pens and pencils. I like to create my own ones just to get more of a personal feel to it. So I select one and then I literally just start scribbling. Like the beginning of a lot of work, it's just very basic shapes. You know, I've got a head here and a body here, you know, just simple stuff. This is based on my cat Tally. She appears in a lot of my work, particularly a lot of the early kind of Eat, Sleep, Sniff stuff, because it was predominantly kind of diary comics about me and Tally. She's the inspiration for a lot of these things. The second step is the neater pencils. So you have very, very rough drawing. The first layer is purely just a guide layer. Then the second layer, that's when you want to have a bit more detail to the drawing. That's when you really start to understand where sort of arms go, outline the t-shirt, and that kind of thing. The next step is the inking stage. It would make the second layer slightly less opaque and put a third layer over the top. So we just choose a brush over here, and then we start inking. It's called inking because traditionally you would go from a literal pencil to a literal paintbrush with ink. You can move the page around a bit, big sweeping lines, you can take it a bit slower, be a bit more deliberate with the lines itself. So then the fourth step is the colouring stage. I have some various brushes that I've created trying to get like a paper kind of textury kind of feel to it, because that's I feel that comes across quite nicely, particularly with these size of images. And then literally as I sit, I just start colouring. This is very much kind of elementary school, kind of let's go out the lines, doesn't matter if you're kind of colouring in the lines because then you can go back and then rub out the bits that you don't need. Go again and again, and that's literally it, you know, just adding the colour to the page. The fifth stage is adding a bit of texture and volume to the piece. So I like to add a few more kind of layers, again just layering it up and up and up and just kind of adding more texture, adding some various kind of gradients to it just to give some warmth and some depth to the piece as well, because one of the things with digital work is that it can look a bit flat because obviously the kind of the screen you're using and the technology being used. So I try and negate that by having these kind of layering up these kind of various textures. So the next stage is adding shadows and highlights. Again, another layer, another brush. Pick some colours, suitable colours that are going to darken it, and then you go add some shadowing. Again, just to bring some depth to the piece, just so it stands out a bit more from the page. This is the time of the piece that I think I enjoy the most, is when you add the shadow to it, because I think that's the part that actually really brings it out. Even though, you know, it's kind of a subtlety of the shadowing, but it's the piece, it's the thing that kind of finishes it off. One of the other things I like doing is then colouring the lines themselves. So again, go in. And then I'll lock this layer. Locking the layer means anything that I draw now on the layer is just going to appear on those lines themselves. It's not going to go outside of those lines. So layer is locked, and then I can just add. So let's make that that colour there. And add the detail for the skin tone. So then it's done, it's finished, and now you can export it in any kind of format you need. So that's it, and that's how I draw cats. I hope you found it interesting. If you'd like to see more of my work, you can see it on Instagram at Rus Hudda or www.eatsleepsniff.com. So thanks very much for joining me today.